Well,
Go
good
ahead.
afternoon, everybody. Appreciate you being here. Really proud of our football team. Tough, hard-fought win. They're all hard. They're all tough, and every win's a big win in the Big Ten. So, really proud of our guys. Really proud of our offensive line for responding. That was our challenge all week: was to run the football, and they loaded the box, and knew they were going to make it hard on us, especially early. But we just kept kind of chipping away at it, and made some adjustments at halftime, and just really happy with that unit with Coach Hiller. Just really proud of him and the response and our offensive staff. So defense continues to create takeaways, which are huge. Got 3 more again today. Still frustrating that we fumbled that one back. Don't really know why that's happened twice now, but we'll work more on ball security with our DBs. But at the same time, continue to be really good on third downs and doing a great job taking the ball away, which is a good combination. So proud of our staff for keeping our guys focused and locked in a game that we know that we needed to have, but knew it was going to be a hard-fought battle. So really proud of this football team and excited for the last few weeks here. Questions?
All right, Zach, and then John Blau.
Yeah, Tom, forgive kind of the obvious one first, but what happened with Michael there is it his ankle, and do you have kind of any indication of where he's at right now?
Don't really know right now. We'll do some more tests to figure it out, but it's a lower leg injury.
All right, John, and then Matt Weaver.
Obviously, we've talked about this a lot last year with, needing to have multiple good quarterbacks. Jack Tuttle, we got to see him for a period of time. He was 5 of 5. What did you see from Jack and how he responded to that situation?
Well, I thought it was good that he got a chance to get some good reps when it mattered. And if you noticed, there was no drop-off. Just did a good job communicating the calls and the checks and the adjustments that we have from the sideline. Understands our system. He's been here for a few years now and has been competing. He's been working extremely hard. I think he's gotten better and better every time we, practice, and continues to grow and develop. So just feel very confident in Jack. But the bottom line is that, it's whatever position it is, guys have to step up when called upon, and he was called upon today, so he stepped up.
All right, Matt Weaver, and then Jim Coyle.
Hey, Coach, you mentioned the defense. Like maybe early on that first quarter, you guys were on your heels just a little bit. They kind of moved the ball, but second quarter and really in the second half, you guys pretty much dominated. Any adjustments, or is it just guys kind of settling in and just playing better and executing better?
Well, you make adjustments, and the things that they were doing. We felt like we had to get a couple of things corrected in the run game, and that was addressed at halftime. And then some of those easy access throws that they were getting us on, we tried to adjust for that. And that was part of our, not even just halftime, but even on the sideline adjustments, So, but the thing that was so impressive about our off defense was it's the red zone defense that we were able to play. They got some opportunities down there early, and we just kept snuffing them out, and they missed a field goal that first time, and then got takeaways and forced them to not be able to finish in those situations. So, got to play great defense. We want to have a chance each week. So, really proud of our defensive staff that continue to do a really good job preparing and getting our guys in position. And but still ticked off about that last touchdown. That should never have happened. And I know we had a bunch of young guys in there, but there's no excuse for that. So really our 1s and 2s deserve to hold them to 3 points, and that's pretty much how we played the whole game.
All right, Jim, and then Kevin Brockway.
Coach, I know you didn't bring Jack in because of that, but the point that he did get in and get to play so many meaningful snaps in this year of COVID crazy, how important is that? And with the team getting off to slow starts back-to-back weeks, what can you guys do to get that changed?
Well, first of all, for Jack, just really proud of him. He's worked extremely hard, and it was good for him to play. And like you said, those meaningful minutes. It wasn't mop-up time. It was a critical time to be able to execute and make some good throws. And he made several good throws and got him comfortable with that. But I got to look at the slow start on offense. I thought our defense was, if you would say, slow from the perspective of giving up some yards. but we weren't slow from the perspective of giving up points, which at the end of the day is all that matters. So you always have to adjust. I mean, they did some different things that we hadn't seen, which is typical, especially, they had some little extra time for us when they knew they weren't playing last week. So to be able to do some things, but obviously they've had some challenges. So bottom line is you adjust, and our guys did that. But to figure out why the slow start on offense, we got to sit down and figure it out. We last week had to figure out the run game, and we got that figured out this week. And so now we got to figure out a way to start faster.
All right, Kevin, then Tom Brew.
Yeah, Coach, how big was it to have, Tim Baldwin step up and, Stevie Scott, particularly with Mike struggling to be on target early in the game and then that carrying over the second half?
I thought it was huge. We need to have multiple running backs that can be effective, and we do. And just to be able to get David Ellis involved more as well, and see Tim the way he ran today, I thought he ran extremely effectively in terms of his path and understanding the blocks and setting those blocks up and finding those holes. So he's a talented runner, and gives us 4 guys at that position that can all make plays. And, in this year of COVID, as we know, you never know what's going to happen with a certain player. So it's going to take multiple people at every position, and that's kind of how it's been on the offensive line. That's how it is right now at quarterback and right now at running back, and just whatever position's affected. So we've had several guys defensive line that had to step up, and even with injuries, in the secondary, for our defense to be able to have guys that rise up and are able to be effective and make really good plays. So, but just proud of our guys for being ready when called upon.
Tom Brew, then Greg Doyle.
Tom, we don't normally see Michael in a 2 for 14 stretch for 37 yards and being a bit inaccurate with his throwing. What was going on there from your perspective? Was he just missing things, or was there stuff that they were throwing at you guys that maybe he just wasn't as prepared for?
Yeah, it was really more just he just seemed a little off. He had a really good week of practice, threw the ball extremely well each day, even Thursday, which is when we do a lot of our, no pad day. And so I thought he was really sharp then, and there's pressure, some early pressure got to him, and he had people in his face quite a bit, but that's not new to him in terms of he'd been able to be very effective with pressure in the past, So don't really know the reason why for sure. But just missing guys, just some little high throws here and there, and not giving guys on some deep balls a chance. But sometimes you have days like that, that's why you got to pony up, and the whole team has to respond. And so when that's going on, your offense has to adjust, and we got to be able to run the football, and other guys got to step up. And that's what we did, and that's how we won the game. It's a 60-minute game, and that's why I challenged our team at halftime, and go back and figure some of those things out to be able to help create opportunities when a guy is struggling like that. But some days those are part of it. It's part of life. It's part of this game. So we got to be able to lean on each other and have everybody do their part and pull their weight when called upon.
All right, Greg, and then Rabbi.
Hi, Tom. You can imagine, and if you can't, I'll tell you, we've got to know more about Penix. We've got to know more about Penix to write what the heck's going on. Can you give us any odds on him playing next week against Wisconsin?
I don't know. So I can't – I don't know. So if I knew, I'd tell you. But the bottom line is that he's going to be evaluated, and we'll know more on Monday.
And then one more thing, the direct snaps. You went heavy on that late in the second quarter. Was that kind of in the game plan, or was that Sheridan making a change on the fly because the passing game wasn't working?
No, that was part of the game plan. So he had put in specifically for this game, and so I was pleased with how it was very effective, and glad that we were able to add that to our arsenal.
All right, thanks.
All right, Rabbi, then Sammy.
Tim Baldwin obviously is just a freshman. What is it about him that makes him capable of stepping into a Big Ten game, getting 100 yards on the ground?
Well, I think very patient. Some guys have a knack to find the holes, and I've been impressed with him in practice. I've mentioned that before. Was not at all, shy about putting him in there. Our whole offensive staff is very confident in Tim. He's a very conscientious young man. He's extremely smart, works very hard. We put him in on punt team, had him come in to fill in an absence of one of our players in that spot, and met with one of our coaches for an hour to go over all the things about that and had it mastered by the next practice. That's the kind of kid he is. He's very, strong attention to detail, and he cares a whole bunch. So he's our kind of guy, smart, tough, and dependable.
All right, Sammy, then Zach.
Coach, Hayden Whitehead had another big day. It's not a guy you want having a big day, but just talk about how important he is to this game, as setting up your defense in good spots and turning a field position battle in your favor, especially in the second half.
Well, I think it's critical. That's why you have to have a football team. You know, I challenge our guys on Thursday about what each position looks like, and went through every single position and said, okay, what does a complete player look like at this position? And went through all of them and talked about how that's what I expected for us to be able to do. And what does the complete team look like? Because I still hadn't felt like, you know, coming out of the Ohio State game, we hadn't played our best football yet in all three phases. And so for 4 quarters. And so to me, those specialists are a huge part of this game. And so whether we got to use them more or less, I mean, yeah, you like to use your punter less, but it was just one of those games where they were keeping us pinned down, and became a field position game in the first half. And his punts were huge to be able to get us out of those situations and give us some room to work as a defense. And that's why you go out and recruit high quality specialists. And that's a huge priority here for me. And you know, I was a special teams coordinator for several years before I came here, and know the value of that position. Charles Campbell nails another field goal, hits all his extra points. Very, very dependable guy. Those guys are valuable to this football team. You know, Jared Schmollard's kicks were excellent, except for one. The one that he gave that was a shorter kick, they ran back to the 30. So the times he did it the way we want it done, they didn't get any returns, you know. So to me, those specialists are extremely valuable to this team. And every time they perform, we expect them to be at their very, very best, because they have few opportunities in a given game. So, but those are critical parts of our team.
All right, Zach, and then Olivia wrap us up.
Sorry, John, this is kind of asked in a loaded way, but I think people have sort of taken to calling this defense opportunistic. Is that maybe a little bit unfair in your mind? Just maybe the sort of implication that at least some of what this defense does is almost kind of by chance rather than by scheme or by structure?
Oh, it's not by chance. I promise you that. Just watch the film. These takeaways are created. So, yeah. I mean, that's what you're asking. So we work extremely hard to create takeaways, and talk to the quarterbacks after they play us. They'll let you know.
All right, Olivia, last one.
Coach, I understand if you can't fully share on this, but obviously a surprise inactive for a lot of us today was Samson James. I understand people stepped up to replace him, but I didn't know if you could share why he was not active today.
No, can't share that, but he was on the inactive list, and hopefully to be updated on Monday as well. But this is a crazy season, 2020 COVID, and it seems like there's a lot of things that happen that you don't expect. So we'll update that situation when we can, but he'll be back with us soon.
All right, thanks, Tom.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Have an awesome day. Ellie out.